Alright, so we're doing a Kayangel hard mode on 1605 Deadeye Pistoleer. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get into Kayangel is you'll switch your card set from LOS 30 or 18 to KLC. So if you have KLC 18, it is better than LOS 30. So I'm running purple pots, swiftness robes, darks, and atropines. Instead of running atropine, you can run time stop if you are afraid you'll get knocked off towards the end. In this party, we've got me at 1605, a 1600 summoner, and 1590 war dancer, and then a 1600 bard. Right, so in what is now the first gate of Kayangel, where you're fighting against Tennis, he's really annoying because he dashes a lot, he scoots away all the time, and it's really hard to land a lot of your skill shots because of that. So the more that you can learn his patterns and what he's going to do, easier it's going to be for you to hit abilities. As a Pistoleer, it's a lot easier because you're just spamming your abilities all the time anyway. But when you first enter, unless he gets taunted, the very first thing he does is he's going to dash forward. And if somebody's in the path of that, they're going to get scooped up and beaten up. So here I'm grenading, but I missed my grenade. If I had played that right, I would have waited until he dashed, spacebarred, and then grenaded. Instead, I tried to greet a grenade. So the rotation that you're gonna do is spacebar, grenade, desperado, equilibrium, and the goal is to get judgment to proc or meteor stream, quick shot, and cruel tracker. And so if you can fit all those abilities in the judgment window and in your spacebar window, then you're rocking and rolling. So there's the judgment. As you can see, he instantly scooted out of my meteor stream because this guy sucks. And what's nice about Desperado is you can cast it from anywhere. It's a hitmaster ability, you know, in theory. So you don't have to back attack that one. And I use it all the time to kind of wrap myself around to get behind the boss for equilibrium. I mean, there has to be a damage difference. I only got +1 on the weapon though. When he charges up like this, you can do a lot of damage. It's free. It's a free damage opportunity. And then as long as you have your spacebar, as soon as you see where he teleports to, you just spacebar. So here he's gonna teleport. You kind of chill and wait until you see him. You see he pops up on the right side, and then you just spacebar out of the way, and you don't take any damage or get CC'd. And then immediately, I'm always gonna position right behind the boss and start putting out damage. And it's kind of nice when somebody gets grabbed like that, because then you get another damage opportunity. Standing in these in the beginning is great because you actually get a damage buff for like 9 seconds. So it's always good to step into those. And there I'm just waiting until he finishes his little stab series so I don't miss anything. And there somebody missed the counter, so we gotta run away. That counter timing window is like really long. So here we got a stagger, which is a great time to ultimate. And I try to wait until I see buffs from the support pop up so I'm not wasting that opportunity. And then I also try to make sure that I put a fresh grenade on for everybody. Also myself, of course, but you want to make sure you reapply your synergy for everybody during staggers. It's kind of crazy if you look at the math on synergies not being applied. It's pretty significant. Let me kind of rewind that one. All right, so he's gonna break this, and then you have this very small window here where you can do a lot of damage to him when he comes down. And so as a Pistoleer, if your quick shot is available or your meteor stream, you can grenade and then try to toss one of those out. So here he's gonna launch down, and then right here you can start, like you see the front and back attack indicators are there, and so that means you can damage him. So I did like 50 million there. For this phase, I'm typically just like hovering top all the time. It's a lot easier because you've got so much more. You've got so much room to work if you position towards the top. So as you can see, I'm just like hanging out up there the whole time. And then you can always just let it scoot you down. And then this is typically, you don't need to time stop this unless you're like really caught out of position. I think the main thing that people might need to time stop is the area of red that pops up if you get caught out of position. So this right here, like this is the reason to bring time stop if you're really uncomfortable with that. Then every time he teleports, he's gonna pretty much slash and dash like that. Sadly, I'm getting picked a lot. In a situation like this where there's a chance for you to get knocked off, it's never worth really positioning for back attacks if the boss can just like do anything and just kind of flick you off. So my priority here is just like, if I've got abilities up and they're available, I'm gonna throw them out if I can land them. Like, I'm not worried about back attacks at all, unless it's convenient. Like here you got staggered, so it's pretty easy to position, but we had one of those things. And always prioritizing meteor stream, quick shot, rule tracker, and setting those up with desperado and equilibrium. See, this is right there. Like, you gotta have a spacebar if you're gonna go without time stop there. It's one of those scenarios where you gotta play very conservative with your spacebar if there's a chance for you to get knocked off. And then you can't see it unless I move my head. Then that's 51% of the damage by just being very aggressive and on cooldown using your abilities. Like the main thing for me is just if you're landing the abilities, then you know you're doing your job. It's people that are scared to use their abilities, or they're scared of mechanics, so they're not casting the abilities when they should be, or they're afraid that they're gonna die from damage or whatever. But as long as you're hyper aggressive, push every little bit of damage out, you'll see yourself getting pro fighters. Alright, so let's look at gate 2. You're going dark grenades, and the main thing is just panacea. In normal, you can cheese the thing, so then you can bring atropine again, but in hard mode, you gotta cleanse the debuff so you can do the mech. Alright, so here we've got gate 2. She also disappears a lot and moves around a lot, depending on which mechanics they are, but you've got really good windows where she's just doing nothing. So you can do a lot of damage to her in short windows. So again, here I'm gonna spacebar, grenade, desperado, equilibrium, and then open up with my main damage abilities. So there's desperado, conviction, judgment, meteor stream, quick shot, spacebar, cruel tracker, and then deathfire. And then a grenade again, spin around for desperado, equilibrium, spacebar, meteor stream. She's got either that or that. Like it's two patterns you can do. So here it's kind of fun. I like this example because you have the choice of, am I gonna just move out of the way? Am I gonna spacebar out of the way? Or can I do damage while I'm getting out of the way? And for me, if I can do damage while I'm moving, with Desperado, I'm always gonna do it. So like if there's time to do damage and move to avoid taking damage, you use Desperado 100% every time like that. So when I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna Desperado out of this and just kind of scoot past her. So I love using helicopter like that. And here I can't get behind her, so I'm not caring about back attacks. And then this is where you use your panacea and cleanse before you start doing this mech, so you don't get one shot. And this stuff's pretty boring, so I'll scoot past it. And then this, I just use Meteor Stream, Desperado to break it. And then you get the spacebar edging mech, so don't waste anything. Always grenading, every time it's up. Always grenading. Put your crit synergy on the boss. Everybody benefits. And it does a ton of damage. See, over time that grenade is just beating up on the boss. Putting a dot on it and putting bleed on it. Everything. I literally don't mind taking damage to do damage. Like, it's a part of the... Like, you have 7 pots. There's no reason to not use them as, like, oh, I'm gonna take a chunk of damage here, but I'm gonna do work. So for this, you're using your counter. And then either go counterclockwise or clockwise based on what your party wants to do. We do counterclockwise typically. Then you stagger. 2 of your big stagger abilities are Meteor Stream and Desperado. So those are really all you need for that. We had that like one that was early, so I broke the thing, so I went over to kill that color. Like there was that one that happened before the first map, so maybe threw the counter off. These are really good damage opportunities when she's just like passing that stuff while you're in together. You just need to be careful to not let your meteor stream or deathfire kind of launch you out of the circle, as you'll take a bunch of damage then. These you just auto attack. Pistoleer has really good auto attacks. They don't like break through the balls and hit other ones. And here she's about dead, so I'm just finishing her off. Alright, let's see what we get. You got 50% there, stagger, counterattack. Doing a lot of good things. People don't realize that Pistoleer, the engraving itself actually increases the stagger of all of your abilities by 40%. It's quite significant. For gate 3, the last gate, ideally 2 people in the party would have dark and then 2 people have flame, so that you can get through the binding that happens, and you need flame grenades to break everybody out. I typically, as the person that's gonna do the most damage, I like to run dark so that I can control when those happen. So that's what I would recommend to you if you are very confident in what you're doing. And then you can always dodge the mechanic if you are the only one alive. And just like I started with all the others, it's same exact rotation. Spacebar grenade, Desperado equilibrium. Son of a bitch. Right, sadly this is kind of pixelated, but this is a really cool example of one thing that you can do with quickshot. Is the first tap doesn't really do any damage, but it's the second tap that does all the burst. And if you cast the first one and you realize the boss is going to move, you can save it and reposition and then use it. And you lose about half the damage, but it's still a significant amount of damage that you're gaining by doing that. So you'll see here, I tap it, and the second one is still available, and he's moved away. So I'm going to reposition behind him, and then immediately press it, and it does about 15 million damage. Alright, this mechanic's super easy for Pistoleer to do, as the auto attack doesn't move you anywhere. And then also you get, if rupture happens, you lose your damage buff, so you gotta immediately break one of those to get a new buff. Alright, so this is the mechanic that you need flame grenades for, and typically if your support has their ultimate, this is the best time for them to use it, so that you don't take burst damage from this. And then it turns into a really good damage opportunity. This mechanic is terrible. It, like, always happens for some reason. Just throwing a grenade from so everybody else gets crit. So I'm sure everybody has a different way of doing this than I do. When the mechanic first happens, my main focus is on where the very first one is going to be. So here it's right side, and then I immediately will ping it. So I try to ping the first one so that everybody can survive the very first one, and then the second one becomes easy. So if you're struggling with this mechanic, I would highly recommend just worry about the first one and then position yourself in the center, and you can reach any corner in time as long as you're in the center. So it doesn't matter where the second one is. So there, I am not paying attention to the fact that it's bottom. You can, but I'm not. I don't care. Because my focus is where am I running to and which ones are safe. So I immediately see that it's these three and these guys are unsafe. So I'm gonna collect these three and then I'm trying to find a safe spot. And then I also saw this one was white over here. And then you just kind of auto attack in the direction that you want to point the revealer. And then here I was actually I was safe, but I moved too soon and then I got hit, so I had to use a spacebar. And again, for the second one here, you could literally be staying in the middle and then you'd be fine. Again, grenade, desperado, reposition for back attack for equilibrium. I use both spacebar and in forced execution there to reposition. For this, people, again, are very scared to do damage during this phase. In this situation, my support used his awakening, so I've got shields. I'm going to use them. I'm going to do as much damage as I can. And as a result, we push the phase pretty quick. As soon as this mechanic starts, your focus needs to be on registering where all the white statue guys are. Because if these receive pings, then you want to register that that's yours and that you need to go there and stagger that one. So just in the back of your mind, just hold on to that and then do that first. And then the next thing that you want to do is you immediately want to go, okay, which one am I pinging? So in this list, if you're new and you've never done this before, you're going to be pinging this one because it's got the icons on it. So I immediately move up, and just to clarify that these are not also ones that I need to be pinging. And then I'm staying in line so I can still see if anybody ends up pinging that one, because they might. And then no one's pinging it, so I'm immediately trying to figure out where mine is now. So now I see this guy. He could be mine, but I'm not seeing any pings yet. Everybody's just pinging the crap out of this guy. And so here, again, nobody ping this one. So because nobody pinged it, I'm letting it go. And so here I see multiple pings, so I know this is mine. But I'm not worried about it right away because I want to make sure everybody survives this. And so I know this is here. As soon as I move in front of him, he's going to put a stagger bar up and I'm going to meteor stream or desperado and it'll take care of it. But I need to make sure that I'm pinging for my teammates. So this is one and this is the other up here. And then now I can desperado and grenade or do whatever I want to do. Two abilities typically works, like a grenade desperado or meteor stream probably by itself will take care of the whole thing. And you don't see it here in the video, but on your mini map you want to take note of where the little balls are. So you can see one here. Ideally in hard mode, because they're much harder to come by, you want to position everybody near those after the cutscene. And so then I'm immediately going up in between both of those to make sure that the boss kind of positions attacks near him. And then you can also see the war dancers up there too. See, they'll hit these. And then there you go. So then you get a buff. If people don't position near those, he's not going to attack those because he won't turn to face that way. Alright, so now in this phase, for this mechanic, he's gonna suck everybody into him and try to kill you. And the amazing thing about the Pistoleer is as soon as you see these words, this purple text that says intense gaze, as soon as you see it, just helicopter. Use Desperado and you will be 100% safe, and it's amazing. And then you don't get sucked in. I'm telling my chat about how wonderful a helicopter is for that. Every time he does the back step, he's gonna throw that AoE frontal attack out. Sadly, I got grabbed here. For this mechanic, you want to just stay away from the boss so that during the downtime, everybody can DPS him. Because wherever you stand on the initial attacks, he's gonna drop those circles, and you don't want them dropped near him so that you can do damage when he's down. Alright, so now it's just 3 of us. Again, tense gaze, helicopter makes this mechanic a complete joke. Now it's just me and the support. We don't have. So this is actually like kind of a scary moment. So it's just me and the support. The two people that have flame grenades are dead. So it's up to him or I to dodge the attack. So he already announced I'm bound. So it's up to me. So for this, I'm just trying to get to the edge to give myself as much space as I can to dodge these attacks. And then I dodged it, so as a result I can come in and helicopter him free. You gotta bear.
I feel like you need to have like an emote in your chat that displays that.
Then he's dead. It's on the soundboard. You can click it. Yeah, look, it's on the soundboard.
I don't even know where the soundboard even is.
There you go.
Those are great. No wings again.
Yeah, sadness. Oh, what did I do? 51%? Not bad.
One more time.
And there you go. That's how you do Kayangel hard on Pistoleer. You like that shit?
Yeah,
Meme. Good meme.
it is good.
If you guys have any questions or you want to see anything else, just let me know. Happy to help.